This is the Hottuner Challenge car for 2011, and we're using the MY11 Forester S. Now this is the high performance Forester. It's got different suspension to the Forester XB. No self-leveling rear suspension. Only comes in 5-speed automatic. Different power output on the engine. As you can see in the graph, before and after, there's some really good improvements on this particular model with the MRT XB Power Kit. This particular car has also got new Kumo track road tyres because the original Yokohama Geolanders are probably not the best thing for a track tuning type performance shootout. And also EcuTek ECU upgrade, MRT exhaust, DBA brake rotors, belt brake fluid and driveline components and fluids, MRT sports pads, and a whole heap of stuff that you'll see in the download document. But what I want to show you is the individual photos, and then we'll summarise at the end to give you a bit of an idea of how we've improved this particular car. So I'll get my camera in to show. Obviously this particular model's got twin outlet rear mufflers with the twin tips, and you can see in the still shot there how we actually change the rear outlets to look stealthy but also give a slightly better performing look. This particular car's got the white line adjustable rear sway bar, and also you'll notice this particular bush here, we haven't fitted them yet, but it's got a replacement to the rear positive traction and rear positive power kits to stop the rear suspension moving under heavy load. But what we have done is we replaced the rear tow control arm. So what I've got in my hand here is the rear tow control arm out of the Forester S. Now you'll notice it's non-adjustable, it's just got a bolt through there and a pivot here for the ball joint that goes into the outer arm. This part here is adjustable by an adjustable bolt that unfortunately on heavy driving actually slips. What we've replaced it with is the rear tow control arm here, and you'll see in a still photo how it's adjustable as a rose joint type ball joint, adjustable in the middle with a fixed fitting on either end. The good thing about it is once you set the alignment on the back, there's no slip, no adjustment, no change, and it's all locked in position for maximum performance. So when the car gets driven on the track by the V8 supercar drivers for Motor Magazine, we will confidently know that the rear suspension is not going to change alignment because the factory ones do tend to slip and move. We've also fitted right up the top here, it's a bit hard to see in the camera here, but I'll again show you some still photos, the rear upper camber adjuster. So what I wanted to show you here now is the difference between the upper control arm on the rear suspension. Remember the Subaru Forester S has got multi-link rear suspension, so it's not easy to change the camber when you're modifying the car to get the best handling. This is a factory standard arm with the factory standard bushes that are non-adjustable. This is a replacement bar with a white line adjustable upper camber kit, which allows us to change the pivot point of the rear suspension to adjust the negative camber. Right, so if you've got a modified car, or particularly this particular model with the lowered springs that we've fitted to it, you want to get the camber right to get the maximum life out of your tyres, but also the maximum grip when you're pushing the car hard either on the road or the track. And you can see here we've changed the rear exhaust system with an MRT 3-inch sports exhaust centre muffler, because remember on the Forester with the increased cabin size, you do have an increased risk of booming or drone at freeway speeds. Centre flexible joint to ensure the reliability of the exhaust system, which obviously this part here is connected to the body, but this part here is bolted up to the transmission and the engine. It all has to move independently. Rear O2 sensor, and again in a still photo we'll show you up here the split collector off the back of the turbo to give that car coming on boost as early as possible. Being a 5-speed auto, we want to try and overcome that lagginess or the delayed performance caused by the torque converter, because remember this is a classic auto transmission, not a semi-automatic transmission like in some of the Mitsubishi and other VW models. You'll see here, this is a lower suspension chassis brace which ties the front end together and gives a bit more stiffness in the front end. We've changed the front inner pickup point on the control arm to the white line anti-lift kit. Remembering this has got adjustable rear pivoting so you can dial in the caster, and also this particular mark factory standard, and you'll see in a still photo here, does tend to tear as the cars get a little bit older. I think Whiteline's going to, I mean not Whiteline, Subaru are going to have a lot of warranty problems with these bushes, hence the reason why we're replacing a lot of them with the Whiteline aftermarket performance part. I'll get my cameraman to come around the front so we can see from the front here. We put heavy duty adjustable front sway bar links, adjustable front sway bar on this particular model because we want to obviously get the car to be dialed in from a handling point of view. Remember, and when you're doing sway bars, you always do rear first, then the front when it's a four-wheel drive car. And of course, a bit hard to see, but again, I'll show you in a still photo, the positive steering kit to locate the front steering rack accurately when the car is cornering hard and reduce the amount of lateral movement of this particular component when the car is driven hard. And you'll see here different coloured boots on the tyre ends and ball joints. And these parts are starting to look a little bit dirty now because we've done a lot of testing on this particular car in the lead up for this Hottuner Challenge shootout. So what we'll do now is we'll go up top and look at the business end of the performance pack so you can understand a bit more about the car. So and obviously now the business end of the performance parts, and you can see under the bonnet it looks relatively standard with the exception of the MRT high performance lateral top mount intercooler. Now this intercooler, you'll see in the still pictures of before and after photos how dramatically bigger this intercooler is. Now I want to point out this intercooler only gives a marginal increase in peak power, but what it does is increase consistent power when the engine's under a lot of load, or there's a lot of heat, or in summer, or you may be in an environment where you've constantly got hot environments where the car's being driven and you want to maintain maximum performance. It's like having a big radiator in your car. You really only use it when you need it, and other times in cold weather it really doesn't do a great deal. So in this particular package with the tuned factory ECU with EcuTek software, we've custom tuned the car on the dyno to come up with our XB Power Kit, which was actually done quite some time ago now. We've done a lot of these Forester S's now as far as upgrades, but we then fine-tune it even further to squeeze every inch of power that we can out of this car in a reliable fashion, because of course we want to make sure that we can deliver a reliable package when we take it to the track for Motor Magazine to test it. A few small things you'll see under the bonnet. We've changed the STI radiator cap or a little bit extra reliability from a radiator pressure point of view, because remembering the STI cap is 1.3 instead of 1.1 bar. And I'll get my cameraman to come around the side here and we'll just have a look at these wheels and tyres. The car factory standard comes with the STI rims. We've now fitted the Kumo semi-slicks, which are a good road tyre as a good track tyre. The Geolanders that come factory standard with this car, which ironically are the same as what comes on the Forester XT, are really not that best for when you're pushing the car a bit harder around corners. And remembering the amount of handling you get out of the car is directly related to the amount of grip. So as you increase grip, you need to improve the suspension accordingly, because there's no point putting really good tyres like this on an old car that's got really poor suspension, springs and sway bars. So of course, because we've upgraded the suspension, we have obviously chosen to upgrade the tyres as well. And of course, at the same time, we've fitted front and back DBA high performance slotted rotors, MRT sports pads front and back for that just a little bit extra braking, and of course a MRT brake performance bracket to stop the sponginess of the pedals, and also MRT braided brake lines, which will give just that more consistency in the reliability of the brakes. So that's about it. You can see in our videos online and also the dyno graphs of this particular car, and I just wanted to point out it's important that when you're considering of upgrading your car, whether it's a Forester S or any other Mazda, Mitsubishi or Subaru, that you consider the things as a package. Don't just do a heap of one thing without improving the others, because you want to obviously have reliability, performance and fun. So for today, I'm Brent Middleton. I want you to take the time and investigate other upgrades on this particular model online here with our videos. Go to our website. You can put in your make, model and year of our online shop and it'll give you a list of parts to suit your model. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, here and YouTube. Make a comment, share some information around and give us some feedback, because it's what you say helps us choose new models in the future. But for today, I'm Brent Middleton. Thanks for watching.